Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sunny Views podcast. Apologies for last week because we didn't record an episode due to the bad weather conditions. Today I'm joined with
Emily,
Prem,
Manuel,
and we'll be discussing controversial topics, part 2. Because last time my classmate Sophia discussed controversial topics, part 1. Today I'm doing part 2, but I want to take a more thought-provoking route and talk about more deep topics that will make you guys and the listeners think deeply, not just pineapple on pizza. Okay, so my first question is, does AI have more benefits or drawbacks to us as a society, students, or just in general? What do you guys think? Do you guys agree that it has more benefits, or do you guys think that it takes things away
AI
from us?
is like any other tech. You can use it for good or you can use it for evil.
Mm-hmm.
So if you only use it for good, then it has a lot of benefits for society. But if you use it for evil, then it isn't. It's like gunpowder. Gunpowder can be used as fireworks, but it can also be used for weapons, right?
So you think that it's how you use it, not that it like it's how you use it, not the capabilities of it.
People put the purpose in technology, not technology itself.
I mean, the capabilities are not set yet. Like, there's like infinite capabilities.
So do you
can design a software to
we'll
like
see.
rob a bank or like to help us with our studies? You know, it's like depends.
But do you think that like right now in the day and age that it hasn't advanced as far as it has? Does it have more benefits to us right now? Like, let's say for us students, is it better than?
I mean, for us, yeah.
Yeah,
because
for us
it helps
it's
us
good.
with our studies.
And what about for the businesses and all the employees that where AI is taking their jobs, or the businesses where it actually AI is more efficient than the employees?
Yes, it depends on the business because you can use AI to like make market strategies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like reduce the number of employees, which grows the business, but then the employees itself, like themselves, they're fired. So it depends like which perspective you're looking at from, the employees or the business.
Yeah.
So for the business it's better, for the employee it's worse.
But is AI more effective than humans in operating a business or operating anything like a
Well, it
machine?
depends highly on the role. You wouldn't want a ChatGPT to be the store clerk. You want like an actual person helping you with your purchases, right?
Yeah, but don't you think that because, for example, if you ask the store clerk, oh, where do I find this item? Don't you think the AI could scan the whole shop and tell you exactly where it is? Whereas the store clerk, there's room for error, so...
But it's like a combination, like a pilot. You still need a pilot like to take off and to land the plane, but you can just put autopilot for the rest of the flight. But you still need some human interaction there.
So you think that there always has to be human intervention and you can never let AI go...
I mean, you cannot like let AI, like the lives of hundreds of people in the hands of AI.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Emily?
I also think it depends on the job because I wouldn't trust like a doctor to do a surgery on me or like a lawyer in a courtroom be AI because a lot of it is like empathy, whereas it's or like an artist that couldn't really be taken by AI because they can like make beautiful paintings, but it wouldn't be the same as like an artist telling their story. But like with like jobs like a store clerk, like that's just self-checkout, isn't it? You don't really need someone for that. So a lot of jobs will be taken. For us, it's good in the short term because we just use it in small doses to like get through our exams. But even then, you could argue that that's not good either because it makes this kind of like you memorize it the night before and then you forget it the next day, and you don't really like know what you're saying. So
Yeah, so I kind of agree with you there that it could be beneficial for students because like it'll help us with their exams. But I think about this a lot where think about the future doctors and lawyers in university, the amount that they use ChatGPT or AI for their assignments, and you're trusting the doctors that search on ChatGPT how to perform a heart surgery to
But it's not like before, like now doctors who perform a surgery, they depend on robots who use AI as well. Like it's not 100% the doctor and his like medical staff.
Yeah, but the way that the doctors and these professions are educated is through ChatGPT, and they can. So that's a point as well.
I mean, depends on how you educate yourself. If you want to depend on ChatGPT, then it's your choice.
True. Okay, on to my next question. Just you tell me if you like between agree and disagree in the statement, okay? Free speech should be fully free.
Agree.
You agree that it should be fully free. like you should say like whatever you want, no matter what, no matter if you hurt people's feelings, no matter if things change.
Yeah, it's up to you what to say. What about you two?
I agree to an extent. I think there should be places to say it. Like, I think there should be like a platform or like somewhere where you can say it and places where you can't say it, so you can avoid like seeing it if you don't want to.
So you think there should be censorship still?
Yeah, in certain areas, but like make sure the censorship's open, because a lot of censorship now is like censored, so like you don't know there's censorship, and like the news that like some people like don't know how censored it is, and like but like maybe some places should be fully uncensored, some places should be uncensored, so you can have like, for example, kids have like, speaking of AI, like they have access to like everything now, so I think parents at least should know where their kids should and shouldn't go and things like that.
Yeah, I agree with Manuel. I think it should be like fully...
Just everywhere, fully uncensored.
Not everywhere. Like, for example, private companies are allowed to, like, for example, YouTube is allowed as a private company to allow or disallow a certain content in their website. But the government shouldn't mandate you to stop saying anything because it's either hateful or bad or a notion. Because when you're trying to convince someone, you have to risk offending them or offending someone else. If you try to self-censor you every single time, you're going to end up not saying anything because you cannot please everyone.
So you also agree that there should be like places for things, like if it can be like,
of course, you're not gonna go
on TikTok.
You're not gonna go, I don't know, you're not gonna go try to proselytize to try to convert an atheist by telling them you're the stupidest person in the world, go to church. Like that's not a very efficient way.
So does that mean you two agree with the conversion of Twitter into X by Elon Musk and unbanning all the people that were previously censored, like figures such as Andrew Tate or Donald Trump? Do you think that is good?
I mean, you can, like, if Andrew Tate wants to post his stuff and then the people who watch it, then, like, if they're offended by it, then stop watching it. You know, like, I think that he can post whatever he wants and then people can interpret it and, like, feel however they want.
I mean, definitely, because, like, Andrew Tate posts some stupid stuff in Twitter. Now everyone knows he's stupid. Because before, some people would say, oh, no, they're trying to stop him from telling the truth, from the Matrix, whatever.
Yeah.
Like what happened with Kanye, like, a few days back. Like, he just started rambling.
Yeah, but that's a bit hard to say.
Now
like,
we all know that, you know,
he said he was hacked. He said he was hacked, but I don't know. But then that's a bit hard to say, like, if you don't want to see it, like, don't look. It's like saying, like, oh, if you don't want to see someone get killed, don't look at it. But it's like right in front of you. And if like someone says something on one platform, usually it gets like spread everywhere. Like, I had no idea about like all the Kanye West things until like, because I don't use Twitter or X or whatever, until I saw it on my friend's like Instagram story. I would have not known. And it's like, if it's like on one place, it's like spread everywhere. So it's like, I think that's why there should be places and it should be like kept in place. But then you can't stop people from spreading it everywhere either. So
yeah, because if something controversial happens on one platform, it eventually spreads to the next. So Manuel, I actually like the point that you came up with, that free speech is not just good for expressing yourself, but it's also good to reveal people's true colors. So so do you think that suppressing people from expressing their free speech sometimes makes you have a different opinion about them than what you would have if they would have free speech?
Correct, because then you have the unfiltered version of that person. Because some people say, oh no, they can manipulate you. Like, I've heard some people saying that we should ban all type of like fascist or Nazi or whatever speech from the internet.
Yeah.
But it's like every single time those people argue, they just sound like idiots because their ideology is idiotic.
But to you it's idiotic, but like to someone like young who like doesn't know anything and that's the first thing they read, then they might think, oh yeah, actually that sounds like reasonable. Like to you it sounds idiotic, but to some people it like might actually have some sense to it, which is how like things grow, and that there's always like two sides. So
yeah, like impressionable young children seeing these people talk about ridiculous things that maybe won't have a better idea than not to believe what they say.
Yeah, but I mean, firstly, that's up to the parents to say that, because...
But like, in the new day and age, is very different, like, very difficult for parents to restrict what their children see.
Like, do your parents know everything you do online?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's because I'm 17. They knew everything I did online when I was 7.
They didn't know everything I was doing online when I was 7. Not that I was doing anything bad, but they didn't know like the games I was playing, what I was watching, who I was watching. Like, so it depends on the parent, I guess, but a lot of them don't check. Like mine didn't check. So.
I agree. Okay, on to the next topic. Oh, I like this one because I completely disagree with it, and I'll start with my opinion. So,
Okay.
students should be graded on effort rather than results. I think that students should be graded on their results because in school you should be I think that you should be rewarded with what you would be rewarded in society. You give the highest paying jobs and the most successful or highest people with the highest social status in society, the people that have the best results. You wouldn't hire an engineer that tries the hardest. You hire the engineer that has the most innovative ideas, not the person that has the most effort, because you could spend all day reading your notes. That's lots of effort, right? But if you do like 2 hours just doing past papers, you're going to probably produce a better result than the person putting more effort into their notes. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that students should be rewarded more on effort or their results?
Completely results.
Completely results based. Like if you spend 40 hours making, I don't know, a fork, I only spent 2 hours, the result is still the same. It's still a fork.
Like
So I just generated the exact same amount of value as you. I just did it in 2 hours instead of 40.
if you study like way harder but like more inefficient than me, then it's like you make more effort but it's your fault like for making it inefficient.
So do you think that the ATL grades that they release is rather like ineffective in displaying how the grades should really be reflected, not through their effort, but through the grades of the assessments?
Well, no, because there is still some correlation. Generally speaking, the more effort you put into a subject, the higher your grades are.
But we're expected like to be like on top of things throughout the entire year, like full on, and like maybe I want to take it easy on like the second term of stuff because I'm gassed out from the first term, and then I'll like do more work on the third term, but then the ATLs like are worse for me, but it doesn't really matter for me. I don't like care if I have bad ATLs, but I care about the attainment.
I agree, results.
So we all agree, there's no controversy here that results should be prioritized over effort.
Yeah, but I think sometimes effort, like I think ATLs are kind of important to see whether your kind of effort is, because usually they like make notes. They're like, oh, really well, but like does this. So I don't know. It's also good it's more for your parents, I think, to see how you're doing like when you're not at home. But I think results, because at the end of the day, it's like, it's not the school it's not like this, it's like outside people, universities that see your results. They don't see your ATLs.
But do you think that ATLs are more important for people like our age or like younger kids?
Younger kids.
I would say younger kids because they haven't developed the learning skills that we do.
Yeah.
Because now
Like
it's
at
very
year 6.
independent. Like if we don't do it, then that's our problem.
Exactly. So then why do we still have ATLs?
That's a big question.
If it doesn't make a difference, just keep them, I guess.
Okay, well, I guess we all agree on that topic, so I'll move on to the next controversial topic. Do you guys believe that... Wait, let me look at the question. Do you believe that true equality is impossible because people always find ways to create hierarchies within society or within school or within any area where equality should be reached? That's quite a thought-provoking topic, right?
Let's say like a level playing field and I don't know, making money.
Yeah.
Everyone starts with $0. Everyone starts with a job, whatever.
Yeah.
There's still going to be inequality because someone is going to be better at doing the job than someone else, correct? Well, what if we try to equalize that by I don't know, introducing help for the people that have lower quality? In the end, it's all going to be balanced, and that's not really fair for the people that are better at their job,
Yeah. So
I don't think equality is completely achievable.
Society is
100%.
made for there to be hierarchy levels in like every aspect.
But why?
Because there are like some people who are better than others.
So it all
And
comes down to
certain
ability.
things.
No. I think it also, okay, this is maybe a bit controversial. Whether you like it or not, everyone has their own like way of stereotyping and profiling in their head. So let's say if you had like, even if you don't like realize it, like everyone has like their own hierarchy in their like minds, even if that comes to like physical appearance. So like, if I had people with exactly the same qualifications in front of me and they were like different somehow, but they were all exactly the same, then I'd probably like preference one over another without even consciously knowing, just because like, I don't know, like you'd have experiences in your life where like maybe guy with brown hair has done something really horrible to you. If you have like a guy with brown hair and a guy with blonde hair, you might automatically choose the blonde one because you'll trust them more. So I think you'll always have a hierarchy and a preference of people no matter what, and it's like individual as well. Like it's internal and like individual.
But do you think, is that learned, or is that more you're born with this innate like biological like drive to trust certain people over others?
I think that's learned.
You know about the halo effect?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you attribute good traits to people that look good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's part of it. Like, let's try. I don't know. In CVs, you are not allowed to put your face.
Yeah.
You still have other qualities you
You
can
have
shine
your
through.
name.
Mm-hmm.
Your name like shows where you're from. Like your name is Manuel Villavieja. My name is Harry Tartlon. Like if someone has a bad idea of Spanish people, they're less likely to hire you than me, even if you may have better qualifications. So I guess it does come down to how like employers or society perceives you. Like you said, the halo effect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess that was quite a difficult topic. Oh, I do like this one. Optimism can be a form of denial, avoiding the harsh realities of life. So do you guys think that being too optimistic is sometimes a bad thing because you're living in paradise or you're living in a fairy tale? That you think everything will just come true and everything will be okay?
Yeah, definitely if you are overly optimistic. Because if you're optimistic in your grades and you say you're going to get an A, well, maybe you won't put your work in. But if you are optimistic in the way of, I'm getting an A, if I do X, Y, and Z, then I think that optimism is well-founded.
Like
you have
and
to be...
You should be optimistic with, you should be optimistic with ground in reality. That if you do X, Y, and Z, you'll achieve result X.
So you're saying that realism should be the middle ground between optimism and pessimism, and that you should consider that there are other. I'm like going on a tangent here, but thinking that optimism is because
optimistic but self-aware, maybe.
yeah, you're optimistic but you're self-aware. You're not ignoring the bad things that could happen, but you're thinking, if I do everything in my power to prevent the bad things from happening, then they won't happen.
Yeah, you should expect the best thing to happen, but you should prepare for the worst thing to happen. That's always my motto. What are you going to say, Prem? I cut you off.
I forgot half of it, but that you have to be realistic as well. Like, be optimistic to push yourself, but also be realistic in a way that you're maybe not going to achieve everything you want to, or prepare for what you might not achieve.
So, but do you guys think that it's better to be more on the optimistic side and have more belief and towards that you think that you'll achieve things, or pessimistic is thinking that you won't achieve these things and you need to work harder?
It's like a risk thing, because like if you're very optimistic, then you like might want to like make a more risk, because if you're like more pessimist, then I don't know, if like you want to achieve grades A, and like if you're in a B, you can stay safe being on the C. But if you want to like be more optimistic and go for the A, you know what I mean? You're like risking more.
So do you think that being more optimistic and thinking, yes, I'm going to get an A star, will push you to put in the action to actually achieve that?
Yeah, but if you're more pessimist, then you're like not risking anything, and you say like, if you're a B student and then you can just get C's and you're not risking anything.
I'd rather be 100% optimistic.
Whoa. But don't you think you're denying, like it says, like you're denying the realities of life, that not everything is perfect, not everything will work out the way that you want
Not
it
really,
to.
but like, what's the problem with that? Like, if something goes bad, great, I'll just find the bright side. Like, that's great for me. Like, and then also you'll go for more because you'll be like, yeah, I can get it, like, easy. Or you'll go for more, like, you'll say you'll take more risks if you're an optimist. And then if something doesn't go well, if you're an actual optimist, you'll be like, oh, it's fine. Like, look on the bright side, at least this, and that. So I'd rather be optimistic.
But if you constantly don't achieve what you want to achieve, isn't like you cannot always find the positive and the negative.
But what if you do? What if you're an optimist and you do achieve everything?
And you'll never feel bad about not achieving your goals.
Because you have new goals.
But what if you don't achieve those new goals?
Then it's fine, you'll find new ones. Or you'll find the bright side. Because
So
if
you
you're
think there's a
somewhere,
bright side in everything? There's no harsh reality in life.
I don't know.
I mean, you're still alive. That's a
Yeah.
plus.
You're breathing.
So do you think as long as you're alive, it's up to like it's?
You should always be grateful for the basic things, for
I
little
think
things. because if
everything is
not-
how you look at it. Everything's perspective.
But
So-
you're alive, but maybe you're paralyzed.
Okay.
So what's the good side?
You're not dead.
But paralyzed, how much? Like, if paralyzed from the waist down, it's fine. You can use a wheelchair. But if I'm like fully like in a vegetative state in hospital,
Yeah.
then I don't think I'll be having much thoughts anyway. I mean, I don't know that because like I don't know what happens when you're in a
So then
coma.
There's no
But
good side. No, there's no bright side there.
well, if I got to that point, I'd probably like, I wouldn't mind if they euthanized me or something.
So you think that you're 100% optimist until you're dead because you're always going to be alive?
I don't know. That's what Manuel said. I just said I think it's best to be optimistic.
If you're alive, then nothing else matters.
Okay, well,
You can be broke. You can be like anything.
No, but I think that's biased because I've been lucky enough to live like a very like privileged, like a good life. Nothing serious and bad's ever happened to me. So I'm saying that, but I've never really lived through difficult life experiences. So
Yeah, like if you're maybe like I don't know, go to the casino and then you lose all your money, you're broke or you're homeless or something.
then that
like,
wouldn't be great.
Yeah.
okay. On to the next topic, which is kind of from optimism, I guess. Do you guys think that success should be attributed more to hard work, or it's more a result of privilege, upbringing, and luck?
It's a combination. Like
Do you think that
Like,
if you start from 0, you can work hard and you'll achieve it?
Yeah, but it's way harder. Like nepotism is like, and it's like not what you know, it's who you know. Like sometimes.
But don't you think you can work harder to meet new people?
Yeah, you can, but it's way more difficult. Like the people who are like their parents know people or they know people have the upper hand by far. Like easy. That
So you think that they automatically become more successful? Don't you think?
no, but they're more likely. Obviously, everyone can like be bad in life and end up bad, but like you're less likely to if you know people or if you come from like a privileged background.
But don't you think as well, if you come from a privileged background, that will lead you to be less successful because you just think that everything you get, you deserve, and you just receive everything, and then you just end up being, it's like the celebrity children that end up being drug addicts and
Yeah.
fall off the rails, you know?
I mean, that depends on the person, and I think it also depends what your parents do, maybe. Because if your parents are like both lawyers or both politicians, then they'll probably force you to study and go to a good school and put you through good education. Whereas if they're more like kind of free parents, like artists that have like done really successful or something, or I don't know, like the singers, then they might be more lenient or not be, I don't know. But I think it also depends on the parents and what your upbringing is.
So you're saying that if you're a privileged child, like brought from a more like business standpoint, like a lawyer or a doctor or some like the hardworking mentality there, rather than parents that maybe achieve their success through luck, like entertainment or arts, they're more likely to have a more liberal standpoint and give you whatever you want. Like the children from the doctors and the lawyers are more likely to achieve success than the ones who are from the entertainment and arts industry, and then the children that didn't have any type of upbringing that would have provided them with the privileges as growing up.
That's a good question. I don't
those
know.
children of doctors, they're privileged, but their parents, they also taught them to work hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the other one.
So do you think
they
that
weren't
privilege
as
and hard work from like as taught by the parents is the most important factor in success?
I mean, if you're hardworking and you're also privileged, then what else do you want?
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at history, like for example, the Rothschilds, the people that made the first oil tycoons, like they're no longer like extremely rich.
Yeah.
You know, like wealth can fall, wealth can rise, and wealth can fall. The thing is that their children didn't manage their wealth well, and so they lost a lot of it. And like same with like European monarchies, most of them are republics now.
Yeah.
And so usually what happens is that someone in the family will generate wealth. Their kids will usually manage it well, but not grow it, and then their kids will start losing it. And so it's
Because the hard work isn't carried on.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
only by like the
quality of the person is the thing that makes money
yeah.
in the end. Because I mean, and then we go back to like the whole the question we did before about equality, because some of these people get the best formation from their parents. Like their parents, even though they're rich, they give them hard work, they give them skills. Would a poor kid in their same circumstances be better or worse? Like that's more nature versus nurture, you know?
But don't you think a kid that has grown up maybe in poverty or not been so privileged or lucky develop more resilience and be able to strive? Like, don't you think that their growth of success would be faster than someone who was in a privileged family that was like grown up like that? Don't you think that a child that grew up in poverty has more resilience?
No.
You don't think so?
No, because I think it goes back to the halo effect. It's like you'll achieve what you think you deserve or what you think you can achieve. And in poverty, it's very uncommon for families to like, it obviously happens a lot, and that's why like people get famous and like, oh, it's amazing they have this background. But like a lot of famous people are already rich because they've grown up with the arrogance and the like optimism of this, I'm gonna get this, I can do this. Whereas if you're poor, you're kind of pushed down and
You're
you're like
limited by your beliefs.
yeah, exactly. And like no, and like why would me, like someone who's poor and from here, ever amount to such things? So I think it like that holds people back a lot. The pessimism of the like lower class will hold them back from moving up.
I disagree. I think that like people that grew up in those environments, they have so many challenges and so many things to work past that they develop the resilience to just keep going and keep pushing, and then as soon as they get, actually I kind of agree, but I disagree, because as soon as they find like an opening into their success or a way to like achieve what their goals through hard work, they keep going. But if they don't find that door in the first place, then they won't achieve
Yeah, but
their
the
goals.
door doesn't usually get presented to them. It will always get presented to someone like from, obviously it's like who you know. Like if they're going for the same position, they might have the same things that they've worked really hard for, but then the other person who has the same qualifications might know the boss and they'll probably get it, unfortunately. But that's how it goes. And I think that yes, it builds resilience, but it holds them back a lot. Like, and then that window for like going into success is a lot smaller.
But don't you think the person that knows the boss will try way less harder to impress the boss or work as hard as the person that doesn't know the boss that comes from a less privileged background? Don't you think that person from a less privileged background is more likely to work harder to farm like positive impressions?
Yeah, but I think if you know the boss and let's say like their dad might be from the other big company, then that could be good for like relations. It like, you know, or like, oh, I owe him a favor, stuff like that. So.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean it's both things. Like for example, in this school, like we can say that everybody is like privileged, you know, in the school, but not everybody is hardworking. So maybe you would think that the people who are not hardworking won't be successful, but then like you don't know. Maybe they start a business and maybe they end up successful by like luck or something, and anything can happen. Or you can be like a really hardworking person but never achieve like something successful. Like you spend your whole life like in a lower middle class job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's not one or either.
Okay, wait. I agree with you that all of us that go here are privileged and our parents have to be successful to have the money to pay for us to be enrolled in this school. But do you think that although there is different levels of success, like maybe some parents are more successful than others to get their children in their school, but do you guys think that the most privileged children in the sixth form versus the most hardworking ones, like how successful do you predict that they'll be in the future? I think that the more hardworking ones will get further in life than the more privileged ones.
Yeah. Like if you exclude like their outside wealth, like what they generate on their own, like the more hardworking ones will like do better, I think.
I think it also depends on the person, because I do believe grades aren't everything. Like, I think if two people have the same grades, same background, but one person, maybe their like personality is way more social, way more outgoing, then they're also gonna get it. And like so for example, my friend's dad, he's doing like really well right now. He has no GCSEs, but he's extremely good with people, extremely good with making relationships. He's very good at like bargaining, negotiating, and now he's got to a really high position. So I also think it depends on the person and like the traits that they possess.
But we're not talking like only grades. Like that person like is hardworking in their field.
I thought you were talking about only grades.
Not just grades, but I'm talking about hardworking as in building your personality, building your skills outside of school as well, like reading
extracurriculars
books.
and stuff. Well,
so do you still think that the more privileged will have an advantage over the hardworking then?
yes.
Still.
Yes, still.
And Manuel, what do you think? That if you split 50-50, the more hardworking, or I mean, I guess there are some people that are the most hardworking and are the most privileged, but if you split in privilege, do you think that the more hardworking ones will go to lead a more successful life? I mean, it depends how we define success.
Firstly, how we define success. Secondly, how we define hard work. Because going back to the results question.
Yeah.
Some people will work extremely hard, but they work in a way that's so inefficient that they might as well not work at all. Correct? Yeah. They're barely getting any results back from all that hard work. So the way that I see it is that some people have just bad habits, and like if we do a graph of like where you start and like your measured success, where you start, your privilege is like the C, like the y-axis.
Yeah.
But then what's really important is the gradient. Where are you going? Are you going up? Are you going down in life? And I think that's the really important part, because lots of parts of success are exponential. You might not see it now, but you will definitely see it in like 10 years.
Yeah. So you think that the little improvements now are better than the...
Definitely.
Like each day, if you improve by a little, then you'll succeed.
So basically, if you're privileged, you start with an advantage, but then anything can happen.
Yeah.
You can still grow even better than the privileged.
Yeah. But I still think it's really naive to think that like, oh, well, if you're from not a privileged background, but you work hard, you can get somewhere. You can, but it's not that easy. Like if I'm privileged and I work hard, then I can get like way further, or I'm already born with getting further. It's like saying, oh, well, if you're homeless, you could just buy a house. It's like, it's not that easy to just
so you start with an advantage.
You work hard.
So you just like...
Yeah, I guess.
What I'm saying is that everyone can improve the lights just a little bit. I don't know, even if you're poor, you can quit drinking, quit bad habits. I don't know, if you have a gambling addiction, you can try quit that. And like, there's always little things to improve. And once you start building it up, if you get like mathematically speaking, if you get 1% better every day, you'll end up being 32 times better by the end of the year. Mm. And so I think it really is about the little things that if we all start at the same level playing field, there's going to end up being a very big difference in success in how you invest your time little by little.
Like we go to a private school, so we're like privileged. We have an advantage over the people who go to public schools. Does that mean we're going to be like more successful than the public school?
On average, probably yes.
On average, yes, but it also depends on the person. Like I knew a bunch of people back in GCSE, in which it didn't matter if they went to public school or private school. They were just failing.
Yeah.
So that was up to them because they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They just sat all day in their classes looking just at the wall, and in breaks they didn't do anything. They didn't study.
Yeah, because
that was up to them.
It means that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And it's not always like that.
It's not always like
that correlated, where if your parents are successful, you will be, or if your parents are unsuccessful, you won't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I think that I forgot what I was going to say now. yeah, I just completely lost my train of thought when you guys were talking, but yeah, I'll go on to the next topic now, the last one. Yeah. The last topic is, how far do you agree with this? True altruism cannot exist because every selfless act provides emotional, psychological, or social rewards to the giver.
Can you repeat?
True altruism.
Damn, that's a charged question.
True altruism. Wait, let me read it again. True altruism cannot exist because every selfless act provides emotional, psychological, or social rewards to the giver.
I mean, if you're talking about like biochemically, then yeah, you get a release of dopamine every single time you help someone.
Yeah.
That's your own selfish desire to feel good.
But do you think that that's the only reason why we act altruistically? I agree. I agree. I think that it can never exist because it's always for your own gain or your own to feel good.
You do feel good when you do something nice for somebody
But
else.
I think that's the main reason why all of us do things that are
Like,
good.
would you do something for someone else even though it might not make you feel good?
I mean,
I don't think so. I don't think anyone would do that.
Even though it's something good for the other person.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I don't know if like somebody has to like, I don't know, like would you go like on the floor like over a puddle or something so somebody wouldn't have to step on
Yeah.
it? Like you're
No, because that will make you feel good. Afterwards, it will make you feel good because you say,
Like-
yes, this person didn't have to go through the pain of stepping in the puddle.
I think true altruism does not exist, but
Yeah.
normal altruism does exist.
No, but I think like if I like for example, I have a last thing of whatever I wanted to eat, and my brother really wants it. It wouldn't make me happy to give it to him, but it would make me happy to see him happy after I give it to him. So I will give it to him, and then like obviously it's not good for me, but it makes me feel good because he feels good. So I don't know if you can really like.
So there's some like good sentiment. Like, would you do something that's like would make you feel absolutely bad, like no positives, but still good for your brother?
There's always positives
Yeah,
though,
there's
because
always
you're always gonna feel positive after you
they'll
make
be
them
happy.
feel positive.
Yeah. So then you
Like,
will
if you
always
do-
do it for the internal gain.
If you donate 50,000 to like poor children in Africa that don't have clean drinking water or food, then I think that that's just for yourself to make
Yeah.
yourself feel good. I don't think
or look good.
or look good.
I mean-
Exactly.
I mean,
And
you're
then that'll
also
make you feel
helping
good.
people, but yeah, it's also for like personal like thought.
Obviously, there are people that need to be helped, and it's good to help them. But at the end of the day, it's just for your
Yeah,
selfish
we're all a bit
feeling.
like a bit selfish.
I mean, at that point, like, if we're defining altruism by you have zero benefit emotionally, physically, whatever, like, that's obviously never going to happen.
Yeah.
Because at that point,
Then what? Obviously, other than like helping people, what other reasons would there be to be altruistic?
Yeah, why would you do something that doesn't make you feel good, or like the other person? Like, so I think it is impossible because why would you do it?
Yeah,
Like, I
why
don't
would
think
you
it's
do something
selfish.
that
It's
like,
just like, why would I want to do that?
like make somebody else feel bad and make yourself feel bad? Like that doesn't make sense. Like
Yeah.
there's no situation where that would happen. Like you would do maybe something bad to another person to make yourself feel good.
Or why would you do something bad to them to make them feel bad, and then that makes you feel bad? Like, that would never happen.
No, but I mean, you won't
But that
always
would never
feel
happen.
bad if they feel bad.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
the definition
like-
of true altruism is like
Yeah.
completely out the window. It
'Cause-
throws any sort of altruism
Yeah.
completely out the window because I think true altruism should like be a little bit more concentric. Like, you do get an emotional gain, or I don't know how you want to sell a gain to your soul or to your conscience,
Yeah.
but not physically. I think that's how we should define true altruism because the way you define it, there's no situation in which true altruism can occur.
What about the normal type of altruism?
Normal type of altruism, like just helping someone
Yeah.
for monetary gain, maybe for like monetary gain, physical gain, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can definitely happen.
Do you think that can exist without the rewards, like for yourself?
Like not physical reward, but internally
physical,
you feel
definitely.
good. So that's some kind of reward.
Have you ever gave money to a homeless person? There's no physical reward in that, but there is mental. You're helping yourself conscious. I would say that's true altruism.
Yeah. But you just do that for your own gain, not for the other person.
So like if you're like tutoring someone you're helping them. Like there's nothing in it for you, but like,
Yeah.
you feel good about yourself.
Well, when you tutor someone, you also learn things about yourself, right? Don't you? Yeah. If you tutor someone, you're learning how you teach someone else. In
I
that
don't know,
way you
like
can-
like the giving money to homeless one. Like obviously it makes me feel good and stuff, but then I'm also losing money. Like so that's not always good, is it?
No.
So it's not always for the feeling. Because I could go about my day perfectly happy with the money, but I'm choosing to get rid of the money and also feel happy. So it's like, you know.
What would make you happier than spending that money on yourself or spending that money on the homeless person?
Probably myself.
I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Would you feel better? Like if you have 20 euros, you would give it like to a homeless person or like buy something for yourself or something to eat or something?
I would probably rather spend it to buy something for them because I don't know what they would spend it on.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you'd
They
have
would
to.
probably spend it on beer or
On drugs.
On drugs.
Yeah, so.
So,
But that's something that would make
but I
them
would
happy.
I would go inside of the shop or to a cafe or something and get food for them.
But if they don't want that, like I offered, once I like offered them food and they didn't want it, they just wanted the money and I didn't give it to them. Because if they don't want food and they don't want drink, but they just want the money, what do you think they're going to do with it? Nothing that I want to be involved with.
Yeah, but at least you tried.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah.
I think that's the end.